welcome to the final table of the partypoker.net European Open 4. This is the decider. Our 6 finalists bring staggered chips forward from the semis. And what a drama it is. Will Ian the Razor Frazer be the first 2-time winner of this tournament? Annette Obrestad and Juha Helppi looking to take 2 European titles in as many years. And don't forget the underdogs looking to crack the big time. Everyone's got their eye on that $200,000 first prize, plus the winner's check and trophy. Who's it gonna be? Only thing to do is deal the cards.
It's important for me to come first. It's important for me to get to the final. You know, where I finish, I'll finish. You know, when I make the moves, it'll be the right move at the right time. If it turns out it goes against me, or it turns out somebody's got a bigger hand, you know, what will be, will be. But, you know, I've got this far, and there's no reason why I can't win it.
For me to actually win this tournament would be such a thrill, because it's justification of a hobby, which I said before my heat, and I actually believe that it's something of a passion for the game. I was hell-bent on playing in some big tournaments this year, which is the first one. To actually win it would be such a feather in my cap. I couldn't express it, but I'm excited to do so, but you never know.
I think that my edge is in playing the short stack. Like with a structure like this, I play so much online, and the structures online are so fast that like when you get short, you have to start moving. And I think a lot of the players here don't really know how to play that style, and I think that's going to work in my favor.
It's a nice tournament, a lot of good players, so it would mean a lot to me. I know how to play this 600 format really well, so if I just get that one double up, I have a great chance to win the whole thing.
It's no good reaching the final unless you go on and win it. I've found that out. I've been in 5 finals and I've won 3. Didn't particularly like the 2 I got beat in, but it happens, you know. 100%, I just want to win. I don't want to come second. I'm not worried where I come. If I go out first, I go out first. I don't want to come second. I want to win it, for sure.
There's a lot of confidence going through my system right now, but also a tad of nerves, seeing as I've never been in this situation before, and I'm on the final table with some good players, but hopefully my confidence will prevail.
Final table. Is this where champions meet or where champions are made? And Phil, nice drama we've set up here with the staggered chip stacks, and should be good to see who's going to win it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, we have some names that are known throughout the poker world.
So all to play for, Phil. Of course, there's 1.4 million chips in play, so a little bit different tonight. And those chips are split up. The yellow chips worth 1,000, blues are 2, reds worth 5, green chips on the table tonight worth 10,000 apiece. With the way the stacks are, if the first 21 hands are going to feel like the opening level of a big deep stack multi-table event in Vegas.
That's exactly right, and so I mean patience rules today. So I don't know. It should be interesting. Now the first semifinal we had started out super slow. The second semifinal we had was crazy. I mean the pace was twice as fast, so it could go either way. And, you know, it should be very interesting. I mean, I'm looking really forward to seeing someone play great poker and win this. Wow, that's a beautiful play. Look at that.
I mean, there's no way.
That is way over the rim. I mean,
we come to play.
And again, Annette made an insta-fold there, which I don't like. Study 6 or 7 seconds. When you insta-fold, you're saying to everybody, I re-raced you with nothing. And you re-raised me, and I didn't even ask for a count. Boom, I folded. So she's telling the other players she had nothing. Now, meanwhile, Nick Slade has won the first 3 hands and nearly doubled up. And let me tell you something. That was a beautiful play with ace-8.
Phil, I mean, what kind of indication? We hadn't seen Annette make those kind of plays.
That's exactly right. So he watched the whole last semifinal, and Annette hadn't come over the top weak the whole time. Now she comes over the top weak, and he still moves in with ace-8. That was a strong play, and he must have seen something in her demeanor.
He's playing this like Jerry Yang.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a real hand for Annette, and Juha with ace-king in the small blind.
And Juha is sure that he has a nut crushed right now. He's sure, but he has ace-king suited. Annette has raised on the button, and so he's trying to figure a way to lure her in.
He raised to 32,000 total.
And she just lost a big pot, so it looks like she's steaming, and they're both aware of this, so.
Feel like the push, and it is the push, and Juha's all in. Now Annette's got more chips than Juha, not that many more, but
well, I kind of feel like Annette.
Oh, let's flip.
Kind of feel like Annette's going to win this pot. What do you think?
She hasn't lost too many races in this European Open 4, but then again, neither has Juha.
That's exactly right. Neither one of them loses races, so something's got to give.
And it's time to go.
I kind of had a bad feeling about Juha right before they started this thing, so we'll see.
Good flop for Annette. Obviously,
you don't believe me, do you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I told you, you're 70-30 favourite.
Ace or king, Helppi needs to stay in this European Open.
He's going to need an ace or king, or Annette's going to win this pot. And
Ba-bing!
Yep, bye-bye, Helppi. But Juha didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he got all of his money in with ace-king suited. And it looked like Annette was steaming. She just re-raised with nothing. And Juha, I'm sure, was, you know, wanted her to play.
Absolutely automatic play based on the history, right?
Based on the history, right. But, you know, Annette re-raising all in there.
One down, 4 to go.
Was, you know, a little loose, to be honest.
On the aggressive side, Phil, on the aggressive side.
Well, she's the most aggressive player, and she didn't even think. It's like I raised, he re-raised, and she just shoved. I mean, so.
Nines versus the ace-king, it was the race, but nothing higher than an 8 on the board, and that's no good for Juha Helppi.
I feel okay going out this way. It was a coin flip, nothing I can do. The hand played itself, and Annette was more lucky than me. Maybe next time.
Welcome back. Well, obviously, these players not minding seeing the back of Juha because he's such a tough player, but as far as Annette goes, Phil, now she's up with the leaders.
I mean, she's, you know, I mean, that last hand was a little shocking to me, only in the sense that she re-raised all in so quickly. But I think that, I mean, you know, that she really played those nines aggressively, and I wonder what she'll be able to do when she picks up nines and runs into queens, kings, or aces.
Just trying to think of a reason for this aggression. Do you think players have looked at the prize scale and said, hey, guaranteed 20,000. 5th place is worth 25, 4th place is worth 30. All the money's in the top 3 spots.
Look at this hand, look at this hand. So Slade has raised it up, okay. So ace-5 was folded, ace-9 was folded, and now Ian has ace-10.
And this is the 4th time Slade's made a raise in 5 hands, right?
Exactly, but remember how aggressively Frazer played the ace-jack offsuit yesterday.
Yeah, he got Slade to lay down a big hand. And, you know, I was talking about it with him after the semifinal, Phil, and he said, I was looking at Slade, and I just felt like he would have folded 2 jacks in that spot. He just didn't look like a man who wanted to call a re-raise. So
right.
He's just called here.
Yeah, well, he's in bad shape. There's only 1 ace left. But at least Frazer didn't re-raise it and get himself in bad shape for a lot of money.
King and
look at
the
that.
queen.
Okay, now here is the test that I've been waiting to see.
25,000.
Here is the test. Tyler's sitting there with the king. He has top pair, and let's see if he's able to get out of this hand cheap, because He should be able to. First of all, I don't like his call of a raise with King 7 of diamonds, so that's the first mistake he made. But I don't know his true...
What's Frazer going to do? Is Frazer... He's going to pass.
Pass.
All right.
Raise.
And this is what you said. You said that your goal against Tyler was going to be trying to get all the chips in early,
exactly.
right?
My goal against Tyler is to, because he's overplayed so many hands. Well, this is the thing. Now I know. I mean, he's willing to risk 100,000. Look at this.
Should Slade just call? He's in position.
75,000 more.
75,000 more.
How much more?
Okay, if I were Slade, I would have studied just a little while longer just to give him hope. Right? I mean,
75.
He made this raise so big that he might find he's pot committed.
That's exactly right.
Even against 3 queens.
That's exactly right.
He's got a backdoor flush draw.
Well, if he knew it was 3 queens, of course he'd lay it down. But
75,000.
Well, he's not getting 20 to 1, but he is getting about 6.5 or something.
Okay, now look, here is a situation. If he makes this call, then that just tells me that
I just wonder, Phil, has Josh Tyler made this initial raise without looking at Slade's stack? Because it was
that was ridiculous. I mean, Tyler. Okay, now this is what I predicted in the first heat when he almost went broke with Jack 9. Is that he would go out early? Well, he didn't run into any tough situations. The first tough situation he ran into, he basically just donked off all of his chips and
400K in this pot.
You know, I mean, he's got 200,000 with the king and a 7 or whatever. I mean, it's pretty sick.
And where should he have done different? Was it the raise on the flop? I mean, what was the proper way to play the hand? Fold before the flop? Or
well, of course,
call on
fold.
the flop?
First of all, fold before the flop. I mean, he busted himself on this hand, right? I mean, not busted himself, but he really hurt himself here.
Wish he did.
Got no need to. No.
And
queen's full.
Not only that, he's looking sick. 20 years old, Phil. I mean, obviously a lot of promise, a lot of talent, but he's gonna kick himself there, isn't he?
Well, he knows he donked off the money. You know, I mean, he knows that, and he'll be the first to tell you that I donked off the cash there. When you see two people both slow playing hands in the small blind and the big blind, it's usually two great players, because the lesser players or the really, really good players think that they always have to raise when they have a hand in the small blind or the big blind.
Are there any rules of thumb for how people can sort of improve their small blind versus big blind games? I mean,
rude not to.
Just to try and mix it up. Is that a good rule of thumb, or is?
Yeah, I mean, I think mixing it up is fine.
Check.
And no raise.
Now, Annette, of course, she doesn't want to have 3 diamonds hit here.
No, she's on the button.
She's gone if that happens. Pretty unlikely event, though. Top 2 pair.
Jeez, he's things are going very well for Nick Slade right now, aren't they?
He checked top 2 and let her bluff at it with the 6-8.
Pretty. And obviously a big enough hand to check call. But
and
what
he just called. If a 9 pops off, though, wow.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Check.
The way that
she fell for it. Oh my God. This is where. Look at that. I mean, I told you. Wow. They're using her aggression against her just beautifully. Look at that, hemming and hawing with 2 pair. Top 2 he flopped. Oh, what should I do?
The reason that Annette obviously doesn't think Slade has anything is, isn't it because
oh, he's played her beautifully. As long as
he's going to let her file a third bullet. It looks like a draw, right?
Yeah,
it looks like he's on a draw.
Exactly. He's praying for a deuce. That's perfect.
30,000.
Wow.
This is really tough for Annette to figure out. This is really slippery, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, he's really, really a little floater bet. That's a beautiful thing. Now, if for some reason she decides to raise 50, 60,000, she's going to find herself insta-called.
She has to consider that he could be bluffing, right? It's a real.
Oh, he has played her like a fiddle on this hand. Just
Do you
like
think she might fall for this?
Oh, he's played this hand so beautifully.
Gosh,
like she can't help it.
She would have to commit a lot. She's only got 217,000. She's made a raise.
80,000 total.
He's going to insta-call it. She has to kill her hand
Yeah.
instantly again. What a beautiful play. Now that's called you. Now that's what happens when you play super aggressively and everybody knows you're playing super aggressively. He played that hand just beautifully.
Phil, on every street, it seems like he did the perfect thing. I mean,
he checked to let her bluff off her money. She did. He checked to let her bluff off her money. She did. And then he put a little floater bet out there where she's going to have to raise it if she believes he's weak. And then he picked off that 50,000.
Who would have thought? Nick Slade, chip later, 5-5-5, Phil, and he's done it in style, hasn't he?
Oh, he's done it very. I mean, what a beautiful play that was. I mean, I just. That's what you do against the super aggressive players. You use their aggression against them. You limp in with big hands. You let them bluff, 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 and then you put a little floater bet out there. That was beautiful.
I mean, if you were sitting in that seat, it's very logical to understand why she played the hand like that, right?
I might have been able to check on the flop and check on the turn and just call, but I don't think I would have bet the 30,000 on the river.
He wouldn't have said anything double fish if it happened to him, would he? He wouldn't have said anything. Would he, Amanda?
What is the other one when he turned that hand over, the 7-10 of diamonds, Phil? What is going through the minds of the other players at this table? They were surprised, right?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, instantly they realized the beauty of his play. They all right away said, "Oh my God!" He check called with top 2 pair. He check called again and fired on the river. They all knew when they saw that hand that he's tricky and that he played the hand just for Annette, just to get her to bluff off her money.
Annette back in the swing here. She's got 137,000. Obviously, she's picked up a nice hand here, but does Slade think she's steaming?
Slade. I'm going to start calling him Detective because Nick Slade is like a detective's name, right? So let's call him the Detective. But that was just beautiful. He did some great PI work there.
What do you expect from?
I mean, I mean, the beauty of it was to check on the flop, check on the turn, and then float the bet out on the river was a really beautiful thing.
I mean, think how much he picked up on the river there.
Yeah,
80,000.
yeah. If he just checks on the river, like I might have checked it.
Oh no!
Wow, and he's just held her number too. He's going to check it here.
Check.
Wow, this time she checked. She wants nothing to do with trying to bluff him.
Yeah, 2 pair for Slade, and that
Top
only
2
can get
again.
out with the queen. That could be her tournament.
It's bye-bye in that.
10,000.
How can she get out of this? Can she?
Well, it could be bye-bye. Well, she just called because he's already shown her a weird hand. So,
queen or jack is what Obrestad needs to make the winner.
Well, 5 would work too. But
oh, right.
An ace also, but.
Right. Yeah, but besides that.
Slade should bet about 50,000 here.
30,000. Pass.
Wow.
Wow.
How did she get away from it?
Let's give Annette some credit there. I mean, she played that hand beautifully. I mean, she really had to call on the river. Not only did she fold it, but she folded it instantly.
And I mean, not just was it a great fold, but coming on the heels of the last hand when she should be steaming. I mean, she should at least make a tilt call.
Well, you know, look at her. She's played 43% of the hands. Nick Slade's played 48, but he's had hands. I mean, you know, queens. You know, she hasn't really had hands. I mean, she's kind of blasted off some of her chips here.
Basically, Nick Slade has won as many hands as the rest of them combined. He's running over this game.
It's a very psychological game, and I think people miss that. And I do like to target individuals, which is going to be very difficult today because you've got such a mix of very good players. So, you know, the cards are actually going to play quite a lot more than they would usually do.
Lines are up, Phil. 3 and 6,000. Sometimes you just kind of forget where you are. And I'm not speaking about myself. I'm talking about Josh Tyler. You just kind of have to wait until your brain comes back. You know, it takes a lot of concentration.
You might be talking about yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Here's Annette.
Raise to 15,000 total. Pass.
She's got a stack that is short, and she's gone for a very small raise here, but it's still 20% of her stack.
Okay, she's raised with A7 of diamonds. Now, Nick Slade, the detective, mind you, has called with 6-7, and he could get himself in a whole heap of trouble here because he has her, she has him dominated. He doesn't want to see a 7.
There's only 9,000 more. And Annette could use that money.
Check.
Should she play it strong or weak?
Check.
Well, she has to play it weak. This guy has her number.
Right.
This guy definitely has her number.
Now this is the tester.
14,000.
This is the first time he's put a bet at her that's a bluff, isn't it?
Yes, and you know, she made an excellent laydown with 2 aces before. Could she possibly call with ace high here or even move in? It's just too much to expect.
She'd have to put her tournament on the line, Phil.
Look at this. Well, you have to say this about her. She's reading him well.
She's also clearly a person, Phil, or a player who is willing to back up her judgment with the real deal, with the actions.
It was a nice call she made.
She's
really
still good. Can he bet again?
50,000.
Oh my, quick one. And oh, he's putting her tournament on the line.
That was beautiful. I mean, that's just an absolutely beautiful bet. And you know, can Annette make some kind of just crazy, beautiful call here?
No. Gee, she'll be right back. If she makes this, she'll be right back in it.
If she makes this, I'll be impressed. If she makes this call, I'll be impressed.
She's giving him the stare down. She's giving him the long look. Oh my gosh. Now they're even. Now they're 1-all.
You've got to see the hand to board.
He mucked. I don't have to show if he mucks.
You've got to show the winning hand.
I mean, wow is all I can say.
Woo!
She laid down. That's unbelievable. I mean, let's give Annette. Now I'm taking another look at this girl because she hasn't shown me that much in the days that I've watched her. That, you know, that said, wow, it set her apart.
Why would I?
That call set her apart.
Wow.
And
it wasn't
you know,
just a call on the internet or
Then
in the
we have to
hand.
see some.
That was her tournament, Phil. That was her European
Because he
Open
would've
4.
folded
This is a
for 16
final
more.
table.
yeah, you're right. But she called 15,000 on the turn and she called 50,000 on the river. And you know what? The straight card hit. So, you know, the board was 5-5-2. She couldn't beat anything when the 3 came.
Raised to 19,000.
I mean, it was just a beautiful call, and it was a beautiful bet on his part because he smelled that she had ace high, and it was just a beautifully played hand by both of them to me.
Pass.
What's this? Ace-8 for Slade.
Ace-8 for Slade.
Hello. Is this role reversal?
And look at this, 2 queens.
Slade's raised under the gun here, has he?
Yes, he has.
Phil, does what goes up must come down?
I mean, I've won lots of tournaments where, but yeah, I mean, there are swings. I mean, you know, to me, look, Josh Tyler's shown some real inexperience here. He actually laughed before he raised, you know. I mean, he looked over and laughed, you know. I mean, whenever people start to act and they're amateurs, they're always strong. And Slade's smart enough to figure that out. I mean, he has ace-8. The last time he raised with ace-8, Annette re-raised him, and he moved in and got away with it.
Right, sure.
And he was right.
How much you got left, Josh?
Pardon?
How much you got left?
When you ask this question to someone, Phil, and you actually already know what they have left, what are you looking for?
Just something that just hits you. You know, I mean, it might be that you see fear in their eyes, or it might be that you see strength in their eyes. It might be that he counts his chips so smoothly that you know he has a hand. It might be that he counts his chips and they get a little bit ragged as he's counting them, and you're like, all right, he's weak. You just look for things on the face and the way that they're moving, and if you can get somebody to move after they've made a big re-raise, you can read a lot because they're under stress.
108.
How much?
108.
Let's see if Slade, I mean, he really has kind of an easy laydown here.
You raised.
Oh my.
And then?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, what I said was genius for Slade moving in with ace-8 last time.
Take this 40.
Now, I say is awful. So I said genius, now I'm
What
saying
am I
idiot.
dealing with?
It's just whether or not you get it right or wrong, Phil, huh?
Well, he looked like a genius against Annette. And then against Tyler here, Josh Tyler, he looks really bad. He made the same move. But one time, when you're right, you look like a genius. When you're wrong, you look like an idiot. And, you know, and if he's just going to move in every time someone re-raises him with ace-8, then he's not really playing that good, is he?
It's Josh Tyler all in, but revenge will be sweet. This pot 345,000. He'll be back to where he started this final table. And Queens are still good.
Queens are still in great shape here, but you know now I wouldn't. You know, Slade needs an ace or an 8. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits it, but
can't relax.
Two cards.
But you know, I mean, Tyler's played this hand great.
See?
There it is. There's an ace. God dang.
The dead man's hand, Phil. Ace is backed with 8s, and unless Tyler hits the queen.
I mean, and Slade has hit every hand he's played.
Really
he's hit every hand he's played. He had King 10. One time he got caught bluffing, and that was it.
And Tyler, he could probably barely stand. I mean, 20 years old, but this has hit him like a hammer. You know, I mean, sickening. It's sickening for him, isn't it?
He gave all the money away with the King 7, but then he got all of it in with 2 queens. You know, and I mean, you got to give him credit. I mean, let's give him credit. He played the hand great, and he just got unlucky. That's all. And
the chip counts are interesting. I mean, is it going to be Slade and Frazer playing head up for the title? They certainly would like to.
Pretty disappointed. It wasn't really a nice way to go out. Even though Nick is my friend, and we do get along on the table, and I'd rather he had my chips than anyone else.
Welcome back. There's still 4 left here in this partypoker.net European Open 4 heat. What's going to break this open? I mean, obviously we know hand against hand always breaks things open, but it seems like Annette's going to be involved. Could either be somebody trying to take Annette out or Burgess moving on her. All in. This is good.
And he's going to...
Oh, wow. But he's not going to be rewarded. And,
well, he's not in that bad a shape.
Yeah, so did I.
Obrestad 6 to 4 here. Now she's got.
As much chance of a straight.
She's got chips back.
Oh yeah, she's. You know, he only has like 55,000, right? I mean,
this is poker.
This is Craig Burgess' tournament. Yet Phil, you like that he got aggressive?
Well, I do like it. I do like the fact he got aggressive. I mean, but now you look back and you think, well, if you're going to move in with Jack 5 late, why don't you move in with 2 deuces a little bit before that? But.
Nah, she's been pretty nice to me the last 2 days.
2 cards
well, he needs
for
a
Burgess.
Jack or a 5, or we're down to the final 3 here.
And Phil, if Craig Burgess goes out and forth, it'll be your fault.
Oh, it's a Jack. Wow.
He's been rewarded.
It looks pretty good for him.
Yeah, he's in like a lion here.
He has to dodge the river ace.
Is that fair? Is that allowed?
No, it's not fair.
Unlucky.
I want you to buy Gloria Gaynor.
Just a bit of luck in the right place here for Craig Burgess.
You like your music, don't you?
He has had luck in the right places, but look, maybe if he's learned his lesson, then he has a chance to win this thing. If he hasn't learned his lesson, if he's just going to ante off to at least down to 50,000 and shove in with Jack Deuce or something, then I mean he's in trouble, right? He needs to try to get lucky now.
Raise to 30,000 total.
How automatic is this for Burgess, or is it automatic? I mean,
it's pretty automatic. I mean, you know, it's not. I mean, I can't see him folding it. So
he's not guaranteed to get a better opportunity, is he?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like he's trying to outlast anybody who's close. I mean, Annette has him 2.5x here in chips, so he just has to take his chances. He's going to be very happy if he does.
Does it come? He's
going to be happy at first if he does, because he's going to look at a Queen 10 and say, "Yum yum." But you know, this is Burgess's. This is his weakness, as he has not been aggressive enough, and
cool.
And you know, I don't like the call. But at least he didn't fold.
Feels like if an ace comes down, he's going to give up the pot.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of times he's going to give up the pot here, where he.
Oh God.
Check.
Check.
Yep.
Check.
Wow.
Well, Slade's trying to set a trap.
Yes, he is.
Oh my gosh! Oh. Talk about the backfire.
10,000.
I'm all in.
All in?
I have to call. Let you know.
Cool.
Super.
You get the king. Oh. Jeez, man.
He can't believe it. This is huge news for Burgess, and it looked like there was no way he was going to get on here. I mean,
wow.
it's come a complete cold deck.
That's amazing.
It's gone perfect for him.
It really has. Well, unless a 10 comes. Wow.
King's up, the big double through, and
so, you know, I mean, Burgess is going to win the same amount of money if he re-raises before the flop.
yeah, because Slade's got a call, but it's a funny play. The only thing that's happened is look at the short stacks. They're not that short anymore.
No, they really aren't. I mean, 200's a short stack, and the game is on now. I mean, 200, 222, 500 and 500, basically.
An indication that perhaps the best player from here will win.
By the way, Frazer has taken the chip lead as of right now.
7 and 15,000. It's a good 50% bigger than 5 and 10. It's exactly bigger than 5 and 10.
I mean, it's a pretty significant jump now.
Pass.
Here's Annette.
She's not going to limp again, is she?
She's limped and limped and limped, and she's finally going to come in raising.
Raise.
And Frazer's got something.
And Frazer has a pocket pair of
30,000.
fours. What's he going to do? He's trying to decide, should I fold, should I call, or should I raise? And the more he studies her, he's probably going to realize she can't call or re-raise. Nope, he didn't realize it.
This is the first pot these guys have played together that's had a big lump in it.
Right, and Annette must know she's beat right now. I mean, she must know. Unless she thinks Frazer has king-queen suited or something. And now she hit the flop again.
Okay.
She has been lucky. You know, in the semifinal, she hit every flop.
She's checked here. She's checked here, trying to give Ian some rope.
30,000.
Or does she just not know if he might have her out kicked? What's the play here?
Cool.
Well, I think she has to just call. And you remember, Ian got himself in trouble with 2 4s earlier. And I mean, in the last match, remember, it came an ace.
Check.
I think it came an ace 10-10, and he went crazy with the 4s.
There's 150,000 here. I mean, could Frazer win this with a bullet? Oh my, he's gonna go for it. Is he strong enough to push her off?
Well, this would be a big play if he gets away with it. This is where I give Annette credit if she plays this. I mean, if she can raise or call here. Specifically, if she raises, I'd have to say that was a strong, strong, strong play.
I feel like, Phil, that Frazer's MO in this spot has been to check the turn and give up on the pot. This is a bullet he's fired here, isn't it? What is going through her mind? Oh my gosh, those are the green ones.
She's trying to make a decision for all her chips.
He's bet 60 and she's got 200. Oh, what about? I don't know. She's got.
It says 274 she has.
Right.
Cool.
Wow.
No.
Made a good call.
She has, but there is 270,000 in there. I mean, if Frazer catches a 4, we know what'll happen. But what if he doesn't?
Yeah, that's going to be the rub, isn't it? Wow, it was close to a 4.
Check.
If he looks at that board, he'll know that there is absolutely nothing she could be drawing to. So it's can I bluff her or not, right?
Oh, exactly. He knows right now that she has an ace, or she has 2 kings, or she has 2 queens. He knows that, maybe king 10, and he has to decide, can I pull this off? Can I pull the trigger? And I mean, he's just aggressive enough to try it. I mean, this is where he gets himself. This is where he could get himself in a lot of trouble.
Oh my God, is he going for it all? How is this gutsy? Is it got a Is it got any chance of all it working?
Yes, it does. 100,000's a little bit too easy for her to call.
100,000.
But I mean, he's taken 1 more barrel. I mean, you have to give him credit for 3 barrels here.
Oh my God, you give him credit.
Massive credit if it works. If it doesn't work, you say, oh my God, he just donked off all his chips. Right? And that's the difference right now, right here, is whether it works or not. I mean, he's a hero or a 0 right here.
So is Annette. And this has to be read dependent, right? There's no way you can play back through this hand, and there's no logic about it, is there? I mean, it's just, does he got it or not, right?
Exactly. She knows right now that he has nothing or he has everything. That's it, because he's not making this bet with an ace-7.
She raised her eyebrows. It's basically all, those greens are 10,000. She'll only have about 55,000 left if she calls. It's
the whole
everything
tournament's
for her.
on the line. Yeah. I think she might call, and if she calls, I think she's going to win the tournament. So how about that?
Frazer's won this tournament before, and if he gets to... He has gold! She got Frazer bluffing! 3 bullets with 2 4s!
Yep, and she's going to win the tournament now. Great call. I mean, that's a great call she made. And she set him up beautifully, too, you know? I thought she might call. So she does have that special gear. So now we know... So now we know why Annette's... Now we know why Annette is a champion player, because she stared down the heat and made the right play, and I believe that pot is going to win her the tournament. Look at that. There's so many chips in there, she needs a dealer to help her stack them.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times Frazer fired. And I mean, it was set up perfectly, Phil, because it looked like from the start that he had a strong hand.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times a lady.
Yeah, jeez. 2 aces all the way. And I don't know how many Frazer's got left, but he's been hurt.
It's a great lineup for the final. Few of them I've played with before, you know, I know quite well. Anyone's capable of winning it, they're all great players. I don't really expect anything in particular off anyone. It just depends how the chips go, you know. If people are short and they're on their back foot, then it is a big struggle for them. You just got to take it as it comes, really, you know, in this sort of format where the chip counts are different. You just have to play a lot by instinct, really, and that's what I'll be doing.
Blinds are going to hit 10 and 20,000. With these stack sizes, I mean, what's in play here?
Well, I mean, you know, 10 and 20,000, they're still in my, no need to panic for anybody. 200,000 is enough for Frazer. He's not going to panic. And Burgess is not going to panic on 206, because that's like a mountain of chip to Burgess. You know, we've seen him struggling with 45,000, you know, in the semifinals. He hasn't had chips in a long time. And I don't think that Slade and Obrestad, they're in great shape too. So I think people are going to continue to play steady.
The next player out gets 30,000, and then third place gets 50,000. So it's the biggest jump we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Raised to 60,000 total.
Pass.
Pass.
60 in, and Annette's moved all in with nothing. Quick call by Slade. Oh, what's happened?
Oh my
What has
God.
happened? He must have made a false tell.
I can't believe it. He just whatever he did to her, it was beautiful, because he got her to stick all of her money in, and this is how she's gotten herself in trouble. Why? Why? She has 500,000 in chips. She's reading everybody well. She's playing perfectly. Why shove in with a Jack-7 offsuit? I told you at the beginning she's going to play a lot of big hands where she has the worst of it, and she's 2-to-1 underdog for $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. There's 1 million chips in this pot. And it had to have been some kind of false tell, right? I mean, she saw something that...
You're very smart. There was what he did is he put some kind of weird false tell. He noticed that she noticed something. So he noticed that she noticed something, because she has been reading him well, and she put that false tell out there, and he tricked her into putting all the money in.
Oh my!
But why would she raise everything? Why not raise 120,000 and give yourself a chance?
I don't know.
If she puts in 180. Then he can re-raise 300. She can fold.
There's the king.
And it's over, and it's bye-bye Annette.
Oh
and
my
she
gosh.
that is some self-destruction there, because, you know, there's just too many ways for her to play that. Now the 10 is the perfect card for her, because it would give her an 8 or a queen for a straight draw. There's a lot of cards where it's just over. It's over. And Annette is out of the tournament. She had basically first or second locked up if she didn't play, and then she just absolutely blew up. Now she could have made it 180,000 and gotten the same information and still had 300 left when he moved in.
It's an edgy game, but it's only when you get it right that it's beautiful. When it goes wrong, It looks hard show.
She's very young, all right, and obviously has a lot of talent. She made lots of great reads. And
pleasure to play with you.
I think that maybe a more mature Annette, in maybe a couple of years down the line, would not have moved in with Jack 7.
The thing is that there were 2 short stacks at the table, and him and I had pretty many. We had a lot of chips, both of us. So he's not going to be calling me with very many hands because he wants the other 2 players to bust first. So I figured he'd be laying down a lot of hands, and I just got unlucky that he had ace king.
Welcome back. The stakes are pretty huge for Frazer and Burgess because obviously third place gets 50,000, second place 100,000.
All in, pure aggression. Now that's a good move because what he's doing is he's keeping the pressure on.
Cool.
Frazer must have him. Frazer has to have 9-10 beat.
We haven't seen his hand yet.
No, and this is Frazer saying, hey, don't tell me about second place. If I think I've got the best of it, I'm going to take a chance to win it, right?
We haven't seen his hand yet.
Well, it has to be 9-10.
Queen King. Okay, so he kind of had an easy call there with Queen King, and
but it's still gutsy, isn't it?
Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you something that's obvious to me. If
Queen King would be a shot.
If Slade wins this pot somehow, he is going to win this tournament because Burgess is just not aggressive enough to win this.
And if Frazer wins it, he's got, well, he's right back in it.
He's right back in it
for the European Open title.
Yeah, but Slade doesn't mind this. He's 2-to-1 underdog, but he gets to take somebody out. He's flopped a 9.
Frazer really laid it on the line here. 6 cards.
Yeah, Frazer. But Frazer got in with the best hand. Now Frazer's looking for any paint. Even a jack's good for him. It gives him some outs. It's a 4. He's going to need a queen or a king on the river.
Slade knows this is it. This is it.
Slade knows this is it. I mean, he knows if he wins this pot, he's got the title. I mean, he has to dodge 1 card.
Queen of spades, baby.
That's the one. He's good at calling them.
Oh, and it was a paint, but the wrong paint.
Going out when I'm being joined.
And Ian Frazer out in third. He showed there, Phil. He showed a heart to win, didn't he?
Here's the difference between the other day for Slade. Before he was folding a lot of hands, and now he just kind of tried to seize the moment. He said, I'm going to have a little of the worst of it if somebody calls me. Nobody called him, and now he basically has the tournament in hand.
And that last hand, Frazer drawn his line in the sand, Phil, the line between I don't want to go for second, I want to make sure I still can go for the win. Got his money in a great spot, and
oh yeah, he had to call. I mean, Ian Frazer's a player.
I wasn't really thinking when we was 3-handed we had a good chance, but because Nick played a real good game. I mean, I know he's put me off a couple of hands there. He's played a solid game, and he just had too many chips, but I still fancied getting heads up, and I might have had a go with him. You know, anything can happen when you're heads up, and I just kept hanging in there. King, queen at the end. I have to get it in, and I know I'm going to be in front, and I know he's going to suck out on me. So, but that's how it goes. I'm obviously gutted, but I'll give myself every chance, and that's it.
Well, I don't know. Is this a coronation, Phil, or is there something left in this? Look at the mountain in front of Nick Slade. 2 players left in the European Open 4, and 1.3+ million out of 1.4 in play. He has played an edgy game tonight.
He has. Somebody show me a pie chart.
But Slade has to face Craig Burgess. And if you think back to Craig Burgess's night, I mean, he's never had many more chips than he's got right now. He's been the guy who kept his head, isn't he?
He really has.
I mean, Frazer, you know, got involved in a pot with Annette. Annette got involved in a pot with Slade. Burgess played survival. This guy deserves to be there.
He really does, and I think Frazer's back in the green room, and he's sick right now. And he's listening to me, and he's like, "You're right, I'm sick, Phil."
Slade leads in every category, and obviously it's going to be just a question of the cards until if Burgess doubles up 2 or 3 times, and then it could be a road race, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it looks over, but again, I really think that. What happened the other day is serving Nick Slade well. Right. You know, the fact that in the semifinals he kind of blew it. Now, you know, he was telling me, yeah, I should have called with the 8-deuce.
And
he should have.
First hand all in, first hand called, queen versus we don't know, but Slade's got less.
There's a 5-7 for Slade with a chance to win, though.
I'll tell you what, yeah,
42%. Yeah, and yeah, 42%. I mean, he just said, "Look, I'm going to call because this is my first chance to win the whole tournament." And yeah, I have the worst hand, but let me take a shot.
Will he be the European Open 4 champion? 5-7, and that looks good.
That looks pretty good for the Queen 4. So, you know, a 9 finishes it, a Queen finishes it, an Ace finishes it.
And 192,000. That's it.
Over.
Yeah.
Now they could split it if a Queen comes, but
Burgess with the double up, and Slade says, "How much is it?" And there is game starts now, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Slade doesn't mind paying it off either.
Right.
How much? 96,000.
I got that.
That's it. Here you go. Let's play the next hand.
This is the route that both of these players have taken in this final. I mean, obviously, Burgess, you can see that black line just maintaining, but it's been a bit up and down for Slade.
We got the black there on that little black line. That thing's never been over 100. No,
right.
Never been over 200,000 all through the semifinals.
Right.
I
They
mean,
both started as the 2 shortest stacks.
He's just been fighting and hanging in there, and you know, you never know what's going to happen.
You think about the key pots that Slade has played, the key pots he's won this evening. Obviously, Tyler, 2 key pots against Tyler. And the ones with Annette. Tried to bluff Annette, she called him.
Nice.
Got in with the ace-king.
He's keeping the pressure on. He moved all in with the king. It's a good play.
Hello.
And Burgess, oh my goodness, pocket queen.
Now, Phil, this is the point. What if Burgess doubles through here, and you have every reason to expect he will. I mean, 384,000. Does Slade start to wiggle a little bit?
A little, but look at this. He has a chance to win. All he needs to do is hit a king, and he's won. Last hand he had a 5-7 win, and he's won. So he has another chance to win.
Out of nowhere. Craig Burgess and
I know somebody sitting next to me has 10,000 riding on this, and there's the king.
Oh my!
There's your king, Jesse.
Well,
nearly there, mate.
All you need to do is dodge a queen, and you're gonna have 10,000 more.
I won't get the European Open champion trophy, and Nick Slade will.
Yes, he will. It's an ace. All he has to do is dodge a queen, and he's your champion, an unlikely champion.
2 cards in the deck. Burgess. The queens have been so key in this tournament, in this final table, and he cracks them again for the second time.
He cracks queens again, that's right. Ace-8 last time, and King-3 this time.
I think both these guys are going to feel fantastic about their performance tonight. $100,000 for Craig Burgess.
I'm sure that Burgess is happy, and when you go in there and interview Slade, you ask him how he induced, if it was a false tell that he put out there intentionally, because that's the question I want to have answered, and I think that's the question the viewers want to hear at home.
Yeah, 100-1 in the outright market by the sponsors before this tournament started. Nick Slade has upset the odds in that last hand, Phil, cracking the queens again. And I think he's pretty glad he did. The king on the flop, and that was all she wrote. 200 grand in the trophy.
Nice.
Well, don't you ever give up, because these guys didn't. Short stacks unheralded at this final table, and you guys came through. Congratulations, Nick Slade. You are the European Open 4 champion. How does it feel?
Great. It's not really sunk in yet. To be honest with you, I'm still a bit amazed. I mean, I've had 3 fantastic days here, and I've been sat next to this fella and I can't get rid of him. He's still here. But no, it's absolutely thrilling.
A massive final table. I mean, obviously, the hands that you played against Annette were incredible. That hand where the one with the ace king. I mean, did you feel like you were going to get her to put her money in sooner or later, or?
Yeah, I mean, because I was quite lively earlier on, and I know Annette likes to dominate the table. She started, I thought, targeting my raises, which was, exactly what I wanted it to do, because sooner or later I was going to do it with a genuine hand. And as it turned out, she made the move, and I insta-called it because I thought I was a mile ahead. And as it turned out, I was, and it held up.
It was an incredible run. Craig Burgess, commiserations, but well done for finishing second.
Thanks,
I mean, you never had any chips at this final table at all.
No, it's felt like it for 2 days. It's been a real uphill battle for 2 days, and if I'm totally honest, I think it would have been an absolute injustice if I'd have won it, because I've been battling away. Nick's played great today, picked up some hands, obviously. It's ironic that the best hand I've picked up all day, I've got beat with the queens at the end, but it's not my favourite hand anyway, but that's by the by. But the guys played tremendous. I've it's been a great thrill to actually see it through right to the end, to be honest.
Well, it's a great win. 200 grand. It's a lot of money, plus the trophy, Nick. What are you going to do with the money?
Pay some debts off. Some of the lads have been very good over the last 12 months because it's been a tough 12 months. Andy Bradshaw, Matt Tyler, Asher Same, Mark Goodwin. And, you know, this has come at an opportune moment, you know, and I'd like to thank all of them for the support. You know, my wife's been seriously ill and, you know, I've come back and I won at Luton last week and I've won this, and it's pretty much of a fairy tale, to be honest with you.